think there is a correlation with radio where like people are listening, and I think because of there's the DJs, the presenters like you guys, that it makes it way more personable rather than just an algorithmic playlist that you just put on in the background and just gather streams. No one is listening to, even like at the gym, like my local gym back in the UK, that they play Radio 1 Dance, the dance radio station, and like there's a presenter on there, and like it's you listen and you kind of pay attention to what they're saying to you, and it feels way more personable than just a playlist going round and round in the background.
Yeah, not everyone likes a presenter talking, but I think there are people out there who trust certain presenters, whether that be Pete Tong or my show or Sarah or whoever, or anyone at our friends at Kiss and Capital. Like people have the favourites that they tune into, and that's the difference with radio is a bit of personality thrown in there. And what you just said about it translating into gigs, the most recent example that everyone would know is LF System Afraid to Feel last year was a track that we really championed on Radio 1. But I remember them saying they weren't getting a look in at streaming services for the first few weeks. Until the Shazam started coming in, and then they had X amount of radio plays, and then you can see the momentum. Then they came on board. So, but because we were playing it, because the tune was reacting, obviously promoters started to take notice and they started to get gigs. And so I guess this whole point of this section of the conversation is like, and obviously I'm going to say radio is important, but it's the case studies are there, the facts are there. I think everything plays its part in the ecosystem of a music release and the journey of a music release and growing as an artist. But radio is still very important, and it can and it does certainly help artists grow and get more fans.
It's also a massive ego stroke for the artist. Like, I don't care what anyone says. Like, I'm being completely honest. When your record gets played on Radio 1 as an artist, it's like, and you've grown up, like for me, like I've grown up listening to Radio 1 since I was 8 years old, like especially like Pete Tong. So like, and you're just like, okay, when you, Sarah, Pete plays the records and Annie over the years, like, you're just like, yeah, it just feels amazing. It almost doesn't matter what happens after that, because it's like you've achieved something, and it's just a nice achievement as an artist to have.
Yeah, I think it goes for any radio station. I'm not trying to like, be impartial here, but I'm just saying the point I'm going to say is when you get played a radio show, a real person has listened to your tune and decided that amongst all the other hundreds of tunes they received that week, they're going to play yours. So that is a real like deliberate action.
Yeah.
Whereas on a streaming service, an editor or someone in the back end has been flicking through everything, and they look at your monthly listeners, they listen to the tune, they listen to the vibe or whether it would fit a particular playlist, and it's just a really quick process. I'm not saying that they don't listen properly at streaming service. I don't really know, but I'm just saying, like, for them to add a track to a playlist of loads of tracks is not really a big deal compared to someone like me who has 2 hours, which is about 35 tracks if I can push it. Those spaces are at a premium. So if your track's in one of those spaces, it's a good thing, and you quite rightly should stroke your ego and be proud of yourself and big yourself up, because it's a big thing.
Well, it's also like the placing of the record, right? There might be a record that you absolutely love that just doesn't fit on the show, and you're like, how the hell do I fit this on the show? Because I want to fit this on the show, but how often does that happen for you? Because it must happen a lot.
It does happen a lot every week. So there are tracks that are good enough and sort of meet the quality threshold, if you will, to get a play on the show, but it's just a massive jigsaw. It comes down to just what else is around, what else on the show, because it's quality. Obviously, is the record good enough? It's artist proposition. Are they a big name that the audience will be familiar with, or are they an artist that's hot and the trajectory's on the rise and we need to be supporting them.
Yeah.
Diversity, obviously, we need to make sure that we're being as diverse as possible. With my show, we're trying to get to a 50-50 gender split.
That's cool.
What's the other one? Oh, just vibe and texture, really, because on Dance Party we play, house, garage, drum and bass, and everything in between. So sometimes it's just a toss up between two house records for this particular slot, and unfortunately one misses out. Happens a lot with hottest records. I wish the labels would speak to each other, because some weeks we're scratching around for a hottest record, and other weeks we have 5 records that could all be hottest records, but only one can be. So it really, we talked earlier in this conversation about, look, it's the same when it comes to getting a play on radio.
Totally. What's the process you go about for like programming a show? Because I know it's you and Jay, right?
Jay, my producer, and Josh, who works on the show. Yeah,
okay, cool.
So the process is, in simple terms, if we go week by week, obviously sometimes labels send stuff up front, like hottest records, and the guests that we book is usually done like a month in advance, and then like the actual music is on the weekly. So on a Monday and Tuesday, we'll listen to all the new music that comes in, and we'll put it in a folder that we then all listen to together on a Wednesday and decide what new tracks we definitely want to support. And we put them in a grid.
Sorry,
which is the show.
Can I back up on the listening side of thing on a Wednesday? Are you literally listening to like every single record, or obviously not every single?
Yeah. So so on a Monday and Tuesday we listen individually.
Yeah.
That's where most of that's the most laborious bit and the most time consuming. So we do that individually, and anything that catches our ear we'll throw in to like the next phase of the filter, if you will, and then we either get together in Radio 1, or obviously sometimes we have to do it on Zoom depending on where I am, and we just we spend an hour, 90 minutes just going through the short list of new music basically, and decide as a team what goes in, and then we have a document of what we call recurrence, which is what it says on the tin, tunes that we've supported over recent weeks that we want to give repeat plays. And that grid of 2 hours fills up quite quickly. So that's the process. And then Thursday is the production side, making the sections of the show, which are pre-built in different sections. And then Friday I turn up and deliver the show live to, on air, which a lot of people just think I turn up with 2 USBs and plug in and just, talk.
Wing it.
So it's actually for that 1-2 hour show, it's a week-long process. Pretty intense process actually, which takes up the majority of my time. But look, it's a huge platform. It's a big show, and it needs a thorough process.